Hi, guys. Welcome to another exciting episode. I feel like, those, what do they call them? Like those school proctors who are like, hello, and welcome everyone to another exciting episode of All Out. You've got me, Carla. You've got Rico over there, and boy, do we have us. Okay, I'm going to stop right here. What's up to all the monsters over on Facebook, on air, on YouTube, and on Twitch as well? Hello, everyone. How
Thank
do
you
you do?
for availing of this exciting promo. This exciting promo, you do, you thought that was done, right? But yeah, we do got a
Yeah.
show. They do say that when things happen in the world, there are two things that you could actually do. You could either run
Hmm.
away or you could fight. You could either fight or fight. And these
Yeah.
guys came together, bonded together, just like the Avengers, to come out with this awesome, awesome project called Rise. This is to
Yep.
inspire a collective of different artists from all over Asia, and to put them all in one project is something really, really nice. We have two people on today's show that will be joining us. One is a familiar face, if not familiar to your heart, ladies, and the other one is multi awarded. Ladies and gentlemen, let's start first with our first guest. In 2009, her album was part of the top 10 albums along with the Associated Press. They were named the top 10 albums of that time, along with Mariah Carey, Jay-Z, Nora Jones, and the Black Eyed Peas. Also, her work with Nightlight was named one of iTunes' best 2014 album. Check this out, Carla, in the children's music category. Ladies and gentlemen, the multi awarded, joining us all the way from Malaysia, is none other than Zee Avi.
Hey, hi
Hello!
Z.
Mabuhay!
Wow, she knows it just right. Like a
Right?
while ago, she was saying things like maganda, love you, Z. And now she's saying
Mabuhay.
mabuhay. Okay, Z, hello and welcome to the show. Thank you so
Thank
much
you
for
for having
making
me.
time for us and for hanging out with us. Before anything else, how have you been? Where are you calling us from exactly in Malaysia? And what's the situation like over there?
I'm calling in from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, and we've just recently stepped into our part two of the conditional movement order. But
Okay.
we are here keeping safe, staying inside like good citizens.
So what's it called? Conditional. What do they call it?
Conditional Movement Control Order, or CMCO.
Okay. I love
CMC.
how every country has their own version. They have their own
Yeah.
terms, their own little title for it. But it's good to know that you guys are keeping safe. I mean, it's a strange, really unexpected time, and people are trying to find ways to just be normal, and get on with their lives and all of that.
Normal? Who's she? I don't know her.
I know we've forgotten who normal is, but it's good to see that you're keeping safe and you're still creating amazing music, Z, because
Thank
that's something that I think a lot of people look for, especially in their favorite artists. They want that escape, they want that release, and music really is that little space of comfort for a lot of people. So, I mean,
yeah.
since we're talking about music, Rico,
Children's music category. That got me right there. See, so I mean, I know you play a lot of instruments and as far as pop music, but what children's music? How did that get you going? How did it start? How do you make
Well,
children's music?
the album itself is called Zee Avi's Nightlight, and it's a collection of cover songs, actually, 9 cover songs, which includes The Velvet Underground, Joni Mitchell, Michael
oh,
Jackson, that I kind of made into lullabies because you gotta get them while they're young, you know.
Mhm.
yeah, that's true.
So yeah, so we did the album in upstate New York in
Mhm.
somewhere near Woodstock in like 4 days.
Mhm.
Just wanted to release something into the world, and then one thing led to another, and then thank you, iTunes.
Right? I mean, which Michael Jackson track did you do?
I did Ben.
Oh, bad.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
Z, since you're talking about, you
Well,
got to get them while they're young. When did music start for you? Like, when did you realize, number one, I love music. Number two, I'm actually good at music. And number three, I'm going to pursue music full
mhm.
time.
Well, music is my longest relationship, like I always say. But it started just as any other, Southeast Asian childhood. All started with karaoke. Um, So I started singing karaoke really young when it's still on laser discs. I'm really showing my age now.
Wow,
But
laser.
laser discs,
Which one?
yeah. And I think like the first time I started loving music was when I started singing the Carpenters. And you know the Carpenters.
Mm, yeah.
Every sha-la-la-la. um, but I didn't start playing guitar until I was around maybe 17, and then I started really songwriting when I was 21, and then 22 is when I got the record deal.
Wow.
And,
That's
and
incredible.
getting a record deal at 22, I mean, that's getting a really nice check with all the blings. Wow, what did you do in the
Just a
first?
baby, didn't know what was happening. It's
Did you get
like
some juicy couture? Did you get some nice bags? What did you buy?
I bought guitars. That's me.
Yeah.
Wow. See,
That's
Rico,
my yeah.
that's
That's
what
my
musicians
measurement.
do. Yeah, that's what musicians do. Rico, on the other hand, if he got a big check, would spend on
Yeah.
something really frivolous and silly. But
Do you think that's what women spend money on, Rico?
No,
that's
I
right,
mean,
Rico.
Just
sometimes.
like bags and
Well,
I like Z.
I'm in a position now, but I'm gonna say, Carla beside me, I see her every day. I'm gonna say no because she gets that stuff for free. What?
What? No, Rico. Okay. So now we're moving on to, of course, music being the number one thing in your life, your longest relationship. Z, how did you stay motivated to continue on this journey? Because we guested a couple of artists a couple of weeks back as well, female artists. And we were talking about how it's one thing to be female in a male dominated industry. It's another to be Asian, to come from a minority, and then you're a girl as well in
Mhm.
this industry. I mean, what kept you driven? What kept you determined? What gave you that push to continue on? Because as successful as you are, I'm sure there were challenges that you had to face. There were, difficulties, bumps on the road. What kept you motivated to just soldier on and continue pursuing music?
honestly, there's always going to be challenges. I mean, we face that every day within like the growth of ourselves and things like that. But I think the one thing that keeps me motivated is as a songwriter, sometimes you think like you're the only person who goes through a very specific situation, and then you share it to the world, and then somewhere somebody in another corner of the globe says that they've gone through exactly the same thing. So
Mm-hmm.
for me, I really love the fact that I can, make somebody feel like they're not alone, and I think that's one thing that keeps me going.
Ooh, that's beautiful. She truly is a singer songwriter, Rico.
I
That
mean,
hit.
right? And the way everything is set up from her balcony, and she's just getting all earthly air. It's just the vibe. I mean, Z, getting that
It's a
phone
mess.
call. I mean, getting that phone call to be part of Rise. How did you
Yeah.
stumble upon
Oh
this
my.
project from Tarshir?
Yeah, I don't know. That was so amazing how it all happened. I got an email and I got the invite, and I didn't even, I didn't even hesitate to say yes.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, I think it's a long time coming, since it's a long time coming for me to have a collaboration with my cousins in Philippines. I've
Mhm.
always wanted to do that because I've said this already, but Filipinos are I think, the most talented in Southeast Asia, hands down.
Mhm.
Oh,
I
And
have a lot of
funny,
yeah, I have a lot of Filipino friends because I used to live in LA as well, and they all can sing. So karaoke is always a joy,
oh,
always a show,
they
and
got all
and
they
then
all
yeah,
they all can sing and they all can cook really good Pinoy food, right? Did they ever feed
oh,
you Pinoy
adobo. Yes, they taught me how to make lumpia as well.
food?
why is it always the standard? Adobo pancit lumpia. Those are always like
Tosilok,
the staples. Oh
tosilok.
wow.
Wow.
Tagalog. Okay, since we're talking about Rise and we're talking about, collaborations and working with
Mhm.
Filipino artists, jump to working with Inigo. Now, Z, we were talking about this off air. I mean, even if you didn't know who he was, one quick Google and you see just like how many fans he has, the projects he's done, where his music has gone. I mean, he's performed basically everywhere. Were you excited? Were you intimidated? Were you like inspired? I mean, what did that feel like to first be tapped by Rise and then to find out like you're going to be working with someone who is also very talented, and has his own style of
Yeah.
music.
Also very guapo.
Ah,
Hey!
this girl, she is Filipina.
Well, Tarsier Records sent the brief of what the song was going to be, and I'm like, yeah, absolutely, for sure. But I actually saw Inigo on the Jokoi Netflix special.
Yeah, in its element. That's
Oh,
right.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, okay, and I saw the name. I can't remember which one I saw first, but I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be working with him soon. And yeah, very talented artist. He has a whole package lah. He has a whole package happening.
yes, he does.
But
He truly
yeah, it's
does.
very inspiring actually, Carla. Just to answer your question, so needless to say, I was very very excited.
And
Oh,
you could see a hint of smile, like, "Hey, Nigo." I get that smile too every time I see Nigo. But
I
for
can't
the
wait to meet him.
again, we will be. Yeah, this is the first time they are actually gonna meet virtually, but they're
Yeah.
yes.
seeing each other because the other pressers, it is actually Sam who does the press con. So I'm gonna leave you ladies at it to answer some of the fan questions and some
Yes.
greets. But here on air, we continue. Coming up, of course, we're gonna have more of Zee Avi straight up from Malaysia. Also, Inigo joining us for Rise, courtesy of Tarshir. Keep it locked on the Monster.
Okay, so we got Z with us here. Now, Z, we're actually getting a couple of viewers from Malaysia. Before anything else, I mean, I think this would be a really fun segment to do, like, Malaysian trivia, Malaysian, just facts and fun. Okay. I mean,
Oh no,
you were
I was
saying
not
that
briefed about this.
no, no, no. I'm not going to be testing you or anything. I just want to know, like, for example, right? Like you were saying that your Filipino friends fed you lumpia and adobo and they taught you how to make all of these things. If you
Yeah.
were to go up to like a Filipino and say, okay, this is a Malaysian dish, or these are a couple of Malaysian dishes that you have to try, that you have to make, what would those dishes be? And could you like describe them for us? Because we love food. We're big foodies in the Philippines.
Okay, so my fellow Malaysians, I gotta drop the nasi lemak in there because that's our
Oh,
national dish. Nasi lemak is it's a breakfast for champions, really. Traditionally, it's wrapped in I think banana leaf, if I'm not mistaken, and the
yum.
rice itself is cooked in coconut milk. And oh my
Ooh,
gosh, I'm like salivating.
I'm
And
salivating too.
you have spicy. Sometimes you have like spicy shrimp
Mm-hmm.
paste. It's like kind of sweet and spicy. Then you have a boiled egg in there. You have cucumber in there. You have deep fried anchovies and peanuts in there. Sometimes you get like fried chicken in there, and that is our breakfast. We can eat that breakfast, lunch, dinner, supper because Malaysians eat 6 times a day.
Oh my gosh, you guys are part. You know what? Malaysians and Filipinos will just get along fine. Rico,
Yeah.
Z
Wow,
was
6 times
talking
a day.
about how Malaysians eat all the time, like basically like 6, 7, 8 times a day. Like
Really?
she is more than welcome to join us in the Philippines. Because I was asking her if she were to give like a dish or a couple of Malaysian dishes for Filipinos to try, what would it be? And she suggested nasi lemak. One thing that I love from
Mhm.
Malaysia is the coffee. The
Yeah, he gets me
coffee
that all the time.
in Malaysia
Ah.
is
Uh-huh.
insane for me with the condensed milk and everything.
It's so
It's
sweet, no?
delicious.
You
It's
like
it's
that?
sweet. It's
It's so
sweet,
sweet.
but not sickly sweet. Okay,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
enough about me. More about you. You were
I
saying
got
that
one
at
more
one.
food
We can
question.
we can still we can
Okay,
talk about food all day, I'm sure.
I got
actually,
one
yeah.
more food question, Z. Is there
Yeah.
something that people are doing with Malaysian food that they're doing it wrong that you want to correct? Like they're eating it wrong? Because sometimes they do that, all right? Like here in the Philippines, they would eat something, but they would do it wrong. Is there something?
Oh man, this is like so specific. I guess I don't know. Some dishes is just meant to be eaten with your hands.
Mhm.
Mm, yes.
I don't know. Oh. I have foreign friends who don't finish the chicken. It's like there's still meat on there.
She became so passionate.
Like over here, it's just like you can just see bone, and sometimes you would munch on the bone itself, and like sometimes when they eat, it's like everything, the whole chicken is still on there, basically.
Oh God, I love her. I love this woman. Okay, Z, you mentioned earlier that you lived in LA, you recorded as well in New York. I mean, could you just give us like a rundown of the most incredible places that you've actually been, whether you lived there, worked there, recorded there, performed there? Like, could you just give us a list of some of the incredible places you've been to?
Oh, well, I've lived in like some pretty incredible cities. I was in New York for 4 years, and then
Wow.
for the remaining six, I was in LA. Both very different, literally apples and oranges. So I can't say which one is best. But I love old European cities.
Mhm,
That's me.
Mm.
If you ask me like mountain, nature, or beach for vacation, I would just say I don't know, old European city like Paris.
mhm,
Oh.
I really love Paris so much. Like I'm sure everyone who's been to Paris say that. Oh, I feel like I've had a past life here, and
mhm.
that's how I feel. Yeah, I love Paris a lot. I've been to Prague as well, which is really nice. So
You know,
She's so well
um,
traveled.
when you travel, Z, when you're making the music and you're traveling in different parts of the world, is there
Mm.
any type of element that you take in from, for example, if you gone to LA, you'd be like, all right, a part of the LA I will bring into my music, or a
Mm.
part of New York, a part of Paris, a part of Prague,
mm,
and how do you
yeah,
incorporate that with your music?
this is such a great question that I didn't know. I didn't know I needed to be asked. I actually, when I travel, I look for the people
Mhm,
because
Mm.
that's the best way for you to get to know the land. And I draw a lot of inspirations from people and their stories.
mhm,
Yeah.
And like just knowing about how they feel, how they have emotions and how they think. I think that's the the best part of like traveling and discovery for me.
Mm.
And I want to go to Philippines. I've never been.
We
Oh
are
my
gonna
goodness.
here in behalf of Inigo.
Yeah.
Inigo will bring you here. Don't worry. And then
Yeah, we will. But
here.
thank you for that, Z. It's nice to be able to get to know you a little bit more. So, what we're going to do now is we're going to hang out with you again in just a bit. We want to bring in another guest, and then we're going to have both of you meet finally, okay?
All
But you're
right.
going to get to see him as well, Z. Are you excited?
So excited.
Okay, so that's coming up in a bit.
Ladies and gentlemen, for those that are tuning in, we have Zee Avi. Thank you very much. Malaysia
Hey.
represent. Another artist comes to mind. The last time we had him here on the show, it was actually a house tour, right?
Yeah.
He played his guitar, he showed us his collection, and a lot has happened since then. From that guesting that we had during this quarantine, we've come to witness him on Jokoy's In This Element. That surprised me, Carla, when he came out of nowhere. And like, oh my God, Inigo doing that.
Yeah.
Then comes Rise, the album under Tarshir. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome him back on the show. Give it up for Inigo Pascual.
Hey.
What's
Hey,
up? What's up? Good
Nico.
morning, guys. Good morning,
Why
po.
are you always so cool? Like you always look so
Uh,
cool,
to-
like without even trying. It is not fair. Look
How
at
are
him,
you guys? Good
Rico. He looks
morning.
so cool. Morning. We're good. How have you been? How since we last spoke to you? What's up? How have you been?
I've been good. I've just been home. I just got back from filming a movie that we had
Mhm.
just announced yesterday. Yeah, I've been good. I've just been chilling at home. Um, yeah, I mean a lot of things has happened. I'm just grateful for everything. How are you guys?
Great, great. You know,
Good.
Inigo, first and foremost, congratulations on the Netflix special. How did you find
Thank you.
yourself on that? How did you stumble upon it?
To be honest,
Did
I don't even know how that happened. I mean, I met Kuya Joe um, November last year, and then he just called me a month after saying he's gonna be flying to the Philippines and he wanted me to be on the show. And I was like, "How am I
you-
gonna be on the show? I mean, like, I don't know how to do stand up comedy or stand up. And at first I was like, what the heck am I gonna do on the show? Like, what am I required to do?" And he's like, I just want to feature other Filipino artists,
Mhm.
and everything just made sense. Sorry, my dog's just being loud.
It's okay. It's cute, Inigo. It's cute. Don't worry.
And then yeah, everything just like happened.
I mean, did you imagine it will be that big that you'll be on Netflix? That it was going to be, they're going to have a
Mm-mm.
billboard in Los Angeles and Sunset?
Not at all. I honestly didn't think this would ever happen. I mean, in my life. I mean, I'm a big fan of Kuya Joe, so this is like a dream come true for me. Everything that's been happening.
You know what I love about Inigo? He's so chill and humble. Like he never expects these things to happen to him, but he's so talented. Like we're not surprised. I mean, you performed at halftime. You're on Netflix. I mean, I'm not surprised. I don't know why you should be. I mean, you're so talented, Inigo, and at such a young age, you've already accomplished so much. Cut to
Thank you.
this collaboration that we're going to be hanging out with Z in just a bit. I mean,
It's my first time meeting her. I've
I
been
know.
watching. Yeah.
This is so cool. That's why it's gonna be like a Monster exclusive. But I mean, when you were told by Tarsha, like, when you were asked, like, okay, so this is gonna happen, this is gonna be another project for you. Did you just enter like guns blazing, like, yeah, let's do this? Or were you like, let me feel it out first, like send me the lyrics, can I add to this? Like, what was your reaction when they told you about this project?
Honestly, anything Tarshir, I trusted. So as soon as they told me about it, I was game to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And when I found out about the message of the song and why we're doing it, it was an immediate yes for me. I mean, I've always dreamt about doing something like this, and I'm a big fan of Kuya Sam as well. So I had to say yes right away. And I mean, even with the artists that we're working with, Zee Avi, Vincent, and Eric Bellinger, and of course our producer, our boss, Moves. It was an easy yes for me, and just to be able to be part of a collaboration that has such a good message, I mean, it was something that I've always dreamt about doing, being a fan of We Are the World, all these other songs. It was just very timely for us to make a song like this.
And with a song like this with Rice, and you did mention, I was about to ask you, did you watch We Are the World? I know you were not even born yet. Did you rewatch it on YouTube? And
I want
also,
to search when that was made.
Oh God, can you not? You're gonna make the rest of us sad. For all of the monsters tuned in on air, there is a video component, so you can head on over to our Facebook page, facebook.com/RX91, so you can see Inigo's reaction to the year that We Are the World was released, because it probably was just a dream in his parents' head.
that's right. And during those times, no, 1984, I think.
1986.
86.
Hey, I wasn't born yet either. Yay!
Hey,
I'm
congrats,
not old.
I was an RX already doing the radio. No, I wasn't.
Rico, you were already studying your masters. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it's cool. With a collaboration like that, Inigo, how was it recording? I mean, can you walk us through the recording process? Did you prepare? How did you prepare for it? Did you watch some inspiring films? Did you try to channel in your inner Morgan Freeman? Was there a different vocal delivery?
Well, Moves, our producer, guided me through it, and Kuya Sam actually visited the studio when I recorded. He lives in the same condo as Moves.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, every time I record with Chris, our producer, it doesn't feel like work. It's honestly just we're just vibing all the time. We're always just chilling. We always make sure to have a good time. And for me, I mean, the song is honestly such a I love this song so much.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I could say that this song was like something very, very special to Vincent. So for me, it wasn't that difficult. I mean, he actually called us through FaceTime before we even recorded the song. So for me, I just wanted to know the message of the song, how he wanted the song to be, and like how he wanted it to be sung. And he gave us the freedom to just play around with it, have our own flavor to the song and add whatever we wanted to. And for me as an artist, that's just all we need. We need to hear it from the composer himself, from the producer, that we could just play around with the song, and whatever we feel like the song needs, we could put it in.
So there's that
That's
creative
so
freedom.
wonderful.
You guys can actually put in whatever ad libs that you guys want. That's
Or to tune it up, change it up. I mean,
Exactly.
that's when you know that the producers and the composers trust you as an artist. And that must feel really good, Inigo, because I mean, when we spoke to you last time, you were saying, you've always loved music, you always wanted to pursue it. I mean, you dabbled in acting and all that stuff, but music holds a big part of your heart.
Mm-hmm.
And, you're so young, and yet these composers and songwriters and producers trust you so much. That must be such a wonderful sense of validation, because this is also an international collaboration, and with such a striking, important message. Gosh, that must feel so good. Haba ng hair mo, bro.
Now, before we bring in Zee Avi, you did perform at the Los Angeles Clippers halftime
Mhm.
show. Now the Lakers won the championship. How did you feel about all this? Were you for the Lakers or were you for the
I'm a fan
Clippers?
of Lakers. I've always been. I feel like it's just perfect that this whole thing happened. With Kobe and everything. Just I just feel like it was bound to happen. It was destiny for it to happen, and
Mhm.
I'm just proud to be from LA. Uh, just thinking of the fact that I was able to perform in that arena. In Staples Center. Actually, last night I was just watching the clips again from the Staples Center, and a lot of the lockdown happened, the pandemic happened, and sometimes it makes you kind of lose, like your not I'm not gonna say that your passion, but it
Mhm.
makes you kind of lose your drive for whatever is happening, and kind of makes you
Mhm.
forget why you're doing all these things. And for me, like, what I do is I just watch these videos and I try to remind myself like why I started in the first place, and
Mhm.
trying to remind myself that this was just a dream for, and now all of these things are happening, and this pandemic can't stop us. It's still happening as we're talking.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And the cool part is, Inigo, what we come to pick up from this is that when in times that you're doubting, just look back. It's cool to look
Exactly
Yeah.
and
that.
understand why and try to find out why you got started. Go back to that. You know what I mean? Now, Rise, this is something that is inspiring many. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the first time they are going
Yay!
to call this the Monster Eyeball. Hey,
The monster eyeball. Oh my
Monster
god.
Eyeball. Live on all that, ladies and gentlemen, from Malaysia, then Inigo here in the Philippines. Give it up for Zee Avi.
Hey,
Hey!
Z.
Eh. Hi, Inigo.
Hi Z. Nice to
So
Oh,
finally
thank.
meet you.
dreamy. Nice to finally meet you too.
Okay,
How are
so now,
you?
I'm
so
good.
I
I'm
love
good.
how both of them are like getting to know each other, and Rico and I are literally just here, like, what's
We'll leave
up?
it
We're the
at
chaperones. Okay, now that you guys have finally met virtually, I want to know, what was it like working with each other, but not really meeting? Because it's one thing to have your own songs, be your own artist. It's another to collaborate with someone, so you bounce ideas off of each other and you adjust, right? But this is like you've never met, and like you're being asked to collaborate for this project. So I want to know from each of you, what was that experience like? Let's start with Z. Z, what was it like for you?
Well, I mean, given the fact that we live in very strange times, I think, if given the opportunity, I would have flown to Philippines and
Mm-hmm.
probably have done it in person. But I think, the digital way and remote way is probably the way that we're going to be doing a lot of things for a while from now on. But I mean, this is such a trip seeing Inigo here today. It's like, are you real?
Trust me, girl, that's how we feel every time we see him as well. Inigo, how about for you?
I mean, I could say that from the beginning. Tarshir just knew like which artist to choose, and um, I guess it was just different. I mean, for us to we've never met, but I feel like that's what we needed with the pandemic going on. I feel like we needed to show people that it doesn't matter, like whatever's happening right now, we could still make it happen.
Mm.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
And now hearing this track, the finished product, you guys recorded it. You guys have probably sent the final copy. What were your reactions when you heard the
Yeah.
product of the track? Inigo, we'll go for you first.
Man, every time I hear the song, I feel like just like doing something. I feel like just getting out there and trying to do something and to make things better for someone. And I feel like that's just the message of the song, to um inspire people to not feel so down and not feel so
Mm,
bad about everything that's going on.
Mm.
yeah,
How about you, Z?
true.
I mean, the song within itself is, a song about being questioning. It's very actually got kind of a very realistic thought process.
Mm-hmm.
As a songwriter, I really appreciated the lyrics a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I really love the lyrics a lot because my verse especially sounded like it's something that I would have written as well. So I had the fact that they chose me for that verse. I was like super elated to have been given this opportunity to deliver this message. But yeah, it's a very hopeful song, and I'm so proud of you guys. I'm very proud of you guys.
Oh, there's just so much love in this
Right?
environment. Like, I mean, the song has a beautiful message and it makes everybody, feel warm and convicted to do something. But I feel like they picked the perfect artists for this project because you guys are so genuinely nice. It's annoying. It's like how are y'all this talented and still so nice and
No,
humble?
Z and Inigo, with the finished product, you guys got to hear it and your reactions. Now, hearing it on the radio, not
Yeah.
just in the Philippines, not just here on the Monster, but all over the world. I saw moves, I think, posted it. He was in Los Angeles, I think, or, I think he was somewhere. It was a foreign radio station. I'm like, man, how did that feel for you guys?
Yeah.
I mean, for me, to just get my songs out there. I mean, it's honestly what I say all the time. It's a dream come true. Just to get my songs out there, and like what I did last night. I just started watching videos of when we went to the Staples Center, we went to London, all these things,
Mhm.
for us just to be able to make it happen, even if there's a pandemic going on, and to see the song just reach different places that we've never even been to. I've never been to Malaysia, so for me to just have a song with these amazing artists um, is already a dream come true in itself. And um, just the message of the song and just to have it out there makes me feel good inside. Just to be able to give a little bit of happiness to people.
Mhm.
Mm. How
That's
about
nice.
you, Z? I mean, the fact that you have Filipino fans and like Filipinos want to hear the song, they're requesting for it, they're singing it. How does that feel that you're also part of this amazing track?
I mean, it's about time that I go to Philippines and perform, right?
Yes. Yes,
You're
when
welcome.
all
Come
is
here.
safe and
Glad to come
well.
here.
The 30% of you and your DNA of 30%
Yeah,
results.
Yeah.
You gotta come down.
yeah.
Oh, that would be
Carla,
so good.
you bring me go makan. You bring
Yeah,
me.
girl. We will hang
Wait,
out. We will
I
do
heard
all
you
of
guys were
those
talking
fun
about
things.
Malaysian food
Yes,
Yeah.
we
earlier.
were.
I gotta try Malaysian food.
Oh my God,
Oh
Inigo,
my
you have to
gosh.
go to Malaysia. Like,
I
can I
have to go.
pretend to be
Let's
Malaysian for
go.
one
Let's
second and be
go.
like, Inigo, you
Shit.
are going to eat yourself to death.
All right,
Like, it is
we're
so
gonna plan
good
it out right
there.
now. So you're
I'll
gonna
make
go
sure
to
you are
the
well
Philippines
fed.
first.
We're gonna
Yeah.
what?
All right. So you're gonna go to the Philippines first, and then we fly to Malaysia.
Okay,
We
no
gotta
Can
have
I
the
go?
problem.
adobo
Can
and
I
yes, you're
go?
welcome.
Okay.
You
We
can
have
come
to
with
call
us.
security control. There might be stampede for the both of you.
No, there's gonna be a stampede for Inigo. I'm just gonna be on the side with my kaya toast and coffee, but it's fine.
Yeah.
All right. So I
Hey.
mean, guys, we wish we could have you for longer. We know you're both
Yeah.
busy, but please invite everybody for this especially now, at a time where people need that lift, they need that rise, they need that good feeling inside because it's just I mean, Z, I don't know if you heard earlier, Inigo, but they're also doing their part two, their round two of yet another form of lockdown. It's like the
Wow.
light at the end of the tunnel seems so small again, and I
Yeah.
think for everybody, regardless of where you are in the world, there is that sense of struggle, there is
Yeah.
that negativity. I mean, what are your messages before we invite everybody to listen to the track? But what is your message for everyone during this time? Z, we'll start with you.
Well, I think that what we just have to bear in mind is that we're all in this together, but this is our first time in this whole thing together. So,
Mm-hmm.
the last thing we need is to play the blame game. But also,
Mm-hmm.
we just need to bear in mind to be more mindful of each other. And it's just not you going through it, it's just not them going through it, it's just not me going through it. We're literally on the same ship together, and we have to do our utmost best to protect it, but still remain positive and hopeful, but also realistic in the sense of where, this is a real thing that we're going through. But, we just need to, first of all, just bear in mind to be kind and, yes, again, be
Yeah.
mindful with each other and for each other.
That's so true. How about you, Inigo?
I mean, like what Z said, we're all in this together. You're not going through this alone, and that's what we just want to tell people, that all of this is happening, and the last thing we want is for anyone to feel like you're alone. I mean, with anything, especially with the times, anxiety just kicks in anytime, and we just
Yeah.
want to let them know that you're not in this alone, and there's always a way for you to feel happy. I mean, for me, I get anxious about a lot of things, and we just want to show you guys that there's a way to make yourself feel better. And honestly, thanks to you guys for making this happen. Thanks for being able to connect. I mean, it's my first time meeting Z as well, so yeah, just try to reach out to anyone. There's always a way to contact people, and especially for everyone in Malaysia. I mean, you guys are going through your second wave of lockdown. Just find a way to make yourself happy. I mean, I don't know if I mentioned, but last time, I don't know if I started painting the last time I got into plants, right? I recently got into painting,
What?
so I've been painting. That's what I've been doing a lot lately. So just honestly, this lockdown just made me like do a lot of things I never thought I would do. So
Can we see
honestly,
something? I know we
just-
love
Such a dreamboat. I can't even.
Right?
Because
Right?
I love
the-
plants. I love painting. Like, oh my
I have a
gosh.
dog.
All the girls want to bring you home to their moms. Like, mom, I'm set.
Oh, Zee, there's a line. There's a wait list,
Oh
girl.
my-
There's a wait
I'm
list.
sure.
Be in line
I'm
to date
sure.
Inigo. Okay, I mean that's just how it
No.
goes. But kidding aside, thank you guys so much, because I feel like everyone needed to hear that right now, regardless of where they are in the world or what's going on in their lives. We are all in this together. As cliche as that sounds, that should
Mhm.
give us a sense of hope and a sense of
Yeah.
responsibility to be mindful as well. So I love that you said that, Z. And for you, Inigo, to also find something to pour out your energy towards, instead of just dwelling or worrying,
Exactly.
and checking
Yeah.
up on people at the same time, because I feel like
Yeah.
that's something that we all need to do. It's so easy to just collapse into ourselves and only think about ourselves, but how
Yeah.
else are we going to get better if we don't help each other out as well, right? So thank you
Exactly. Yeah.
guys. I
All
want
right,
to give
in the
y'all a
count of three.
virtual
Guys,
hug.
in the count of three, virtual high five. High five. Virtual high five.
High
One,
five. 1, 2, 3.
five.
Wait,
Beer.
is it
Yeah.
this side? This side? I'm not sure. High five.
At the bottom of the screen, I was like, which one? That's all right. Thank you guys. Thank you. Tarshir. Congratulations, Rice, and all the artists. Once again, Zee Avi and Inigo Pascual.
Salamat.
Thank you guys.
Salamat.
Bye.
You have
There
to
you go.
come here. We're gonna wait for your visit here in the Philippines.
I can,
You got-
but you follow me on Instagram. Huh? Follow me first.
Wait, I'm gonna follow you right now.
Z, what's your Instagram? Z, what's your Instagram for everybody listening?
My Instagram is zee.avi,
you.
z.avi.
There.
Oh, you do? You
Inigo
did?
that way.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you're being followed by
Yeah.
Inigo, girl. You're living the dream. Thank you guys. Bye.
Thank you guys so much. Thank
Bye.
you, Monster. Thank you, Ate Karla and Kuya Rico. Maraming salamat po.
Thumbs up.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Z. Nice to finally meet you.
All right, there you
Oh, they're
go.
so cute.
Buti,
I love them.
buti kuya, no? Hindi tito. Thank you.
First of all, Ate and Kuya, I've never felt so aged.
Right, but it was a great experience. The great part about all of this is that regardless of what we go through, is that we are all in this together, and
Yes.
music is still speaks the universal language. Love
Yep.
speaks the universal language, and it brings people together. It's such a great project for Rise, for Tarshir. Don't forget to request for the song here on the Monster. That is Rise, courtesy of Tarshir Records. Carla, that
Thank
was
you, Tarshir.
cool. That was
I
cool.
mean, I love being able to guest artists that are not only talented, but are so kind
Mhm.
and socially aware and responsible. I feel like our guests just keep getting better and better, Rico. So I hope you monsters enjoyed. Don't forget, if you missed out on this interview, you can go back on our Facebook page or our YouTube page. Just search RX931. You can share it with all of your friends, like it. Send it to somebody who needs, well, number one, the killing factor, because Inigo, I mean, need I say more? Number two, if you have any family or friends in Malaysia, send it to them, because Z, of course, is a Malaysian star. And just send it to somebody who needs that rise, who needs that hope,
She's super bet na maging friend. Alam mo yun?
Yeah, she's like such a chill girl. Like, go with the flow type of girl. I like her.
Reminds me of the Malaysian version of Nikki Porter, our very own.
Yeah, yeah, same
Nikki
chill,
Porter
funny
is
vibe.
a singer and the all vibey. But yeah, still,
Yeah,
thank you guys very much. That Carla did say do share this here on Facebook Live and on air. My name is Rico Robles.
I'm Carla. See you guys soon.